Good evening everyone. So today written to paper we have 2 questions from biodiversity section, 2 questions we have from disaster management. Yeah, so tell me feedback, how was it? You have written, you too? क्या नाम है? Vijay. Okay. Prabhat. Okay. How you know about the program? Okay. He's come. So you have written the paper. How was it? You have written the mains and attempted all 4? You also? What about you? 3. You all? All. Very good. How is it? Easy? Doable? Any issue, any specific issue related to today's? Biodiversity Act. No, earthquake question. Earthquake, okay. Very specific in nature. So what you are doing all day? We'll just a brief. We have 2 new students, so we'll just brief. Few mistakes we are trying to avoid in answer writing. One thing is, we have done this since IR, structuring of the answer. So what is basic things to note in this? One thing, introduction, conclusion. This should not be too long. You have to write a very concise introduction. Don't make it half page. Like many answers I see, half page introduction starting like that. So don't do that. Very basics. Conclusion also. Keep it very limited to 1 line, 2 line, 3 line max. That is it. Secondly, if a question is asked, there will be core part of the question. Suppose features of the scheme is asked. You have the liberty to write what the context the scheme was launched, what are the issues in implementation, way forward, how the scheme can be improved. All these are peripherals. If scheme is asked, it is a 10 marker and you have 2 page. Question is, what are the features of Jal Shakti Abhiyan, yesterday's question. So you have written small introduction. Then major part of your answer should be exactly the what is asked. Features is asked, features. Whatever you do extra, you write way forward, you write challenges. It is up to you whether you want to write. You have the knowledge, you have space, you have time. You can include all those, but keep the space very limited to for all these activities. Okay, and here core part of the answer you should write something. Don't make it a diagram. The whole answer don't make it in a diagram format. Other parts you can represent with diagram. You can be innovative in itself. Getting? If 3 part of the question is, divide the paper such that core demands of the 3 question is asked, 3 is met decently. Shouldn't happen last part become very small or 1 part become dominating. That mistake you should avoid. What else? Then next thing we are doing is, what was it? Giving some structure to generate point. Structured thinking. What does it mean? How to approach different dimensions. If causes of landslide is asked, how to approach it? Something like yesterday's question, which was it? We have done different approaches like life cycle. In IR we have one single framework. Values, strategy, national interest and strategic. Think on these dimensions, most of the question you can generate 10 points, 10, 15 points very easy. For IR we done this. For security and environment, we are doing some other frameworks like life cycle. Sometimes we do stakeholders. Sometimes we do what? Syllabus wise division is there, then temporal division is there, then local bodies, state government, regional, all these approaches we have tried. So we have 7-8 standard frameworks which you have been continuously putting in different questions. The idea is, if you have a standard, something to think about, something different approaches to think about in the answer, it is very easy to generate points in different dimensions. Otherwise sometimes your point become very unidimensional. sustainable development, think on lines of economic, social and environment aspect also. Don't limit all your answer into environmental aspects. Social aspect should be part of your answer. So this was what we are doing, and in disaster environment we are specifically doing with SDGs. Do SDGs thoroughly. We made a framework how to make a small notes of it, 10-page notes. Do something like that so that in 10 pages you are covering all the SDGs, and revise it n number of times, and it can be a structure, it can be used in conclusion, introduction, different places it can be applicable. So this is whole picture of what we are doing the exercise. Today is 22nd, 23rd class, 24th, okay. So all the YouTube videos are available in YouTube, you can watch and write the exam also. Okay, get started with today's. So let's read the question. First question, Sikkim is the first organic state in India. What are the ecological and economical benefits of organic state? So tell me what are different parts of this answer? How you are done? Major part is, what are two? Ecological benefits and economical benefits. What to do in introduction? You can define organic farming. You can give data. You can give something related to Sikkim. Sikkim, a statement is given. So you can connect with Sikkim, why Sikkim gone with this. So in discussing answer, what we do is, we will not limit exactly to Sikkim. Even though the question is Sikkim, that year it may be declared this. So the question came from Sikkim perspective. When we are discussing now, limiting all the answer to Sikkim is not beneficial. So we will generally discuss what is organic farming, what are its different benefits and all. Okay. After that, if you want, you can include a way forward from diagrammatic method, 2-3 points, that is enough. Then go to conclusion. Very straightforward question. All questions are straightforward, I think, except third one. Go ahead. So what is organic farming? What definition you have written? Bolo. Different aspects of it. You given a general definition which you can think of, make up. After that, you presented different dimensions through a diagram. Something like this. Different aspects of organic farming. What else? What else? Anyone has written something else? You started with a government scheme. Why have you connected it? Okay. What was the context? How you presented it? Like this scheme is launched recently. Okay, okay. Anything else? Demand is increasing in recent times. After that? So what you are doing is context of it. Why organic farm is relevant, that you are trying to say. Still better if you can get some data also. Instead of saying organic demand is increasing, learn some data out of it. Organic, some data is there, I think. I don't know whether I put it in graph. Like per year 25% is the market growing, organic market in India. Growth is per year 25% for last 3 years, and it is predicted till 2026-27. 2%, something like that you can cite. We have written, no, we don't have here. Right, data also you can cite. How many 150 million farmers are already in organic farming? So otherwise, what is exactly organic farming? Standard definition, if you remember this, how to remember this? Exactly verbatim learning, that is not feasible. Learn some keywords of it. Yesterday also we did a definition for, what was it? I forgot. Point is, there were two key wetlands. There were some keywords, 1-2 keywords. Put that into your definition. Then you can define whatever else you can go in your own words. So here, what is it? Holistic production management system that enhances agro-ecosystem health, including biodiversity, biological cycle, solid biological activity. Actually, if an area is having some certain biodiversity, there are different aspects of it. Soil is there, organic, air is there, water management. All these biodiversity demands are not disturbed, and we are conducting the farming without disturbing whatever the biodiversity demands of the ecosystem. We are not disturbing the ecosystem and conducting the farming. Something in that regard you can define organic farming. Keep 1-2 keywords from standard definition. Learn that keyword. By the time exam comes, make a list of it and learn that keywords, and that should reflect in your answer. Rest of the part, verbatim learning is not required. What else? You can give some dimensions of it, like you have given it. Bijamrid, all these dimensions you can give. Otherwise, you can think of, this is also very straightforward. Think some dimensions what constitute organic farming, then give 3-4 dimensions in a diagrammatic format. Or you can give principles also. Health principles, ecology, fairness, care, all these are different principles of organic farming. So that will give a fair idea how to address the introduction part. Anyone did anything more? You can go with data also. Data is also very much applicable here. You want to take pick? Okay. Go ahead. These are some data regarding organic farming. This is also part of introduction. I put the slide because we are doing organic farming in detail. So we have 2.78 million hectare area by 2021 under organic farming in India. What else? 150 million farmers are already doing organic farming. That is largest in the world, I guess. Madhya Pradesh is the highest state producing organic farming. What else? These are very specific data, not exactly required. Sikkim already became fully organic state. Some specific data, you can start the answer with this also. Most important may be this 2.78 million. Rest of all, go ahead. What else we are coming into the question? Ecological benefits of organic farming. So how you address this? How you generated points for this? No, I am asking, did you have any framework, what to think? You think about the agriculture cycle, how it is happening from preparing the land, then seeding, then all this till consumption. What else? Like stakeholders, what are environmental stakeholders in agriculture? Air, water, land, what else? Biodiversity, plants, animals are there. Human beings also, health part will come into it. So that is exactly what is given here. Like either you can think on different stakeholders. Think on different stakeholders. Environmental stakeholders are part of agriculture system. Who are stakeholders? Soil, and cite how organic farming improves soil capacity or soil value, soil degradation, soil erosion, all this you can connect with. Water, how efficient use of water, better management of water, no over exploitation, all this connect with this. Air, how you connect air? Stubble burning can be controlled. What else? Greenhouse emissions. Agriculture is a major part of emissions. How much it is? What it is emitting at least? Methane. Methane is emitting. What else? Biodiversity, some wetlands. So many examples we seen in wetlands. You can connect with it. Paddy fields are always considered as wetlands, part of wetlands. Pollution, what else? Pollution is exactly not stakeholder, but it will come with all the other also. Sustainable development, sustainable agriculture. Other approach to think is like you did. Think about different life cycle of agriculture. How is agriculture is doing? Soil preparation, right soil cultivation, water resource management, animal husbandry. What else? Recycle the crop waste. Somebody told, right? You told. Green manures will be used. So think on different lines of agriculture, different steps in agriculture. At least 4-5 steps you can think of, then you will get easily 4-5 points. It's a 10 marker. How many points we need? 5-6 points will suffice. In economic we will give 5-6 points, 12 points we will get. Okay, getting? So that is exactly what is written here. Pollution control. How? Better, less use of pesticides, no overuse of fertilizers. All this will come here. Maintain soil health, use of compost. Weeds are not completely removed. Some weed will be there always in the land, so soil erosion will be under control. Efficient water use. Natural fertilizers will be used. Water pollution will be under control. Wetlands. What do you connect with wetlands? What is algal blooms? Due to fertilizers. Basically, we add fertilizers in the field, it will run out and reach some lakes, some other water bodies. And in these water bodies, there will be nutrient concentration will be very high, and this will lead to so much of algal blooms. Algal blooms means what? Algal growth will become uncontrollable and very high. Some lake you can see in very green color, full of plants like greenish color. That is due to algal bloom. What is issue with this? Let me ask one thing. This alga is a plant, right? Plant produce oxygen, right? Then if more plant is there, how it will lead to? Any other option? You're getting the question, right? It's something like plants. And the growth of plants is increasing in water, then what is the issue? Why? How it lead to lack of oxygen? What else? What else? That's prelim modes. Prelim question, not exactly. Yes, yes. Other biodiversity will be hurt. Fishes. That is also part of it. It will cover the whole land. Sunlight will not reach, and whatever underneath will be troubled. But still, how it consume oxygen? कोई नहीं, prelims we done it started. By the time May you can easily answer. Ideas, there are two aspects. One is they will consume oxygen to some extent. So some oxygen will be gone like that. But major component is there will be their plants itself. They are good. They will be all of the lake. But they die where they go. They die, they all sink. And in niche, ye becomes degradation happened, and they in this degradation process they consume all the available oxygen of the plant, and it will kill the lake. Whatever ecosystem biodiversity in the lake system or water body, the algal bloom can kill it. So that is it. What else? Stimulates biodiversity. GM crops will not be used. Connect with something, GM hazards. Lower GHG emissions, we already told. You can, carbon sequestration is also a point. What is sequestration? Capturing of carbon. Greenhouse emission you will connect it with methane, SOx and all. Carbon sequestration is also a part of the process. So very very easy to generate. I think all of you might have done it. Go to next. Anything more you have written which we didn't cover it? Similar to these lines. Anyone? Any other points which we missed out or we didn't? Similar, yeah. Go ahead. Next part we have economical benefits. Yes, invasive species control you can connect with. Exact point is disaster resilience, she is saying. You can connect with landslide. This क्या planting? Monocropping. Droughts, connect it with droughts. Disaster resilience will increase. Very good point. Connect with one or two disaster. Landslide is okay, drought is very good. Anything else? What diagram you have made? No diagram today? Move ahead. Economic benefits. How to think here? Stakeholders. What are stakeholders? Life. Okay, you are making two category: input side, output side. Input side, all these seeds to water to all this. Very good. So he is dividing two aspect of it. One is input, second is output. Input mein everything will come, fertilizer, seed, everything. In output, product, marketing, all these aspect will come. Very good. What else? Similar to life cycle, you are extending it. That in environmental aspects, you done till harvest maybe. Here you are extending till consumer. What else? What you have done? Same input output you have divided. Yes, that's a specific point. Stakeholders, employment opportunities. Yes, you are answering specific points. I am asking approach only. Points, if you have the approach, exactly teaching content, that is not our motive. Some kind of answer writing approach, answer writing value addition, that is something we are trying to do. We focus more on these examples, some case studies, some data, and we will repeat it maybe. So it will come naturally to you when some question is approaching. And different approach, what to fit in what answer. You got 6 points, economic also. 4 points. Okay. So what is written here? This is the life cycle of what? Life cycle of farming, from crop planning, buying inputs till consumer, retail, marketing. So either you can go that way or same stakeholders method. Input output, this is also very good approach. Okay. Tick. Go ahead. What are different points? Input cost will be very less. Connect it with farmer welfare, doubling farmer income vision. When was the year for doubling farmer income? Did it doubled? Till when? 24. Okay. 2 years for COVID. Lower input, obviously you might have written. What's substantiating? We are not using GM seeds. We are not using artificial fertilizers, are very less. Manures are using, compost is using. So anyway, input cost will be very less. Unaccounted account system benefits, that pollution benefits, health of farmers, lower health burden, social benefits that is coming out of organic farming, marketing possibilities, like who told here? Growth, introduction, 20-25% is per year growth. Which sector is growing at this rate? You will see very small number of sectors who can grow consistently at 20-25% per year. It is a small industry, that's why the accelerated growth is there. Still 20-25 consistently for 10 years means it will immensely improve. What else? Integration of contract farming. How? If you want to get the benefit of organic farming, it should be marketed as organic product. If you mix it up and market in the same mandi, then what is the point of all this? So there is opportunity by linking it with specialized, customized chains, marketing chains, supermarkets for organics, something like that. What else? Higher price realization. Organic products always have higher margin of prices. Export potential. You have any data? Cross 1 billion in FY21. There is some issue in this. In FY22 it is less than 1 billion. So don't plot a graph thinking 1 billion again next year it will be. Usually we do that. But don't plot a graph exactly here. Anyway, FY21 we have crossed the 1 billion mark of organic exports. US, EU are having around, I think, 85% plus market is to US and European Union countries. Consumer benefits, nutritional value is high. All these health issues due to fertilizer component into food system, all this can be avoided. Human health care you can connect with, human resource. What else? Give me a few more points. Circular economy you are connecting with. How? Give me. Yeah, farm waste is used as manure or some other inputs as next cycle. Okay. What else? Food processing industry, food marketing industry, employment, investment you can connect with. What else? That is little controversial. Some part it is higher productivity, some part it is lesser productivity. So, like I checked online, that is also having different data. Some data is saying it is having higher shelf life, higher productivity, but productivity is less. Productivity is less in general. Sorry for that. Productivity is generally less for organic farming. Cannot say high. Shelf life also having some controversies. Some people are saying higher shelf life. Some studies are showing lower shelf life. So better don't write productivity in here. It will be little. If you are writing productivity, cite exact data which study has shown that this has higher productivity. Higher return on investment. Yes. What else? Any new points? Similar lines you have written. Very straight question. 10 marker also, 10-12 points you should have written. I'll check after that. You have written. Okay. So this is not part of the answer. If you want, you can write. This is just for our knowledge. Major part is Sikkim. Sikkim has done this lower yield productivity, all this. Sikkim has done organic very good. But if whole country done organic, maybe some part of population will suffer. Food security will be hurt. Sri Lanka, they banned the fertilizer and that was also one major cause for the crisis. So too much romanticizing organic and all, there is risk, underlying risk associated with it. Spillover of chemicals. What is it? That is a negative point, right? It is written here. Shorter shelf life, but this is also very controversial point. There is some studies are showing organic products does have higher shelf life. So what to do in controversial points? Either you can go with don't write it, but if you are writing, prepare some very solid. If ICIR done some study, you should write some exact study. Otherwise, it become controversial statement. What else? Marketing infrastructure gap is there. If it is not efficiently marketed, then spillover of chemicals. Yeah, I missed that. What is it? How you do organic farming? Without chemicals. You cannot do in your plot without chemicals. If it has to be implemented, then the whole area has to be organic. If one farmer is saying I will do organic only and he don't do any chemicals, but anyway the chemicals from other farms will reach his farm. There is no way to one farmer alone can make any change. If it is implemented, it should be implemented in a large wider area. So that is a big challenge. If you have to influence all the farmers in the region, you have to go region wise into this, getting them. What infrastructure gap in marketing? Backward linkages. If it is not marketed properly, all benefits we are speaking, it will become out. No standardization, grading. Standardization means some schemes are launched, recent schemes. Yes, NPOP schemes. All these schemes are launched, but widespread implementation is still lacking. Poor consumer awareness. At the end of the day, consumer have to pay high for something, he should be well aware of the benefits. These are some schemes, you can go and check out this. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. What it does? It mixes traditional wisdom plus modern science and try to implement it in the field. NPOP scheme, which you have certification, some standardization grading tools are being implemented. Participatory guarantee scheme, what it does? Not exactly certification may be part of it. Main idea is, like if you have a farm making clusters, they will make a clusters of I think long area 25, a long group of, in region wise it is upload 50 or farmers will come together and they will make a cluster, then they will implement. What else? If you are converting into organic, maybe your yield will be low, so you will have to incur some losses. For first 3 years per acre you will get X number of rupees. So some sort of incentives was also provided with the part of PGS scheme. Mission organic, that is especially for northeast, huge potential is there. So these are not exactly part of the question, but for our knowledge we are putting this slide. Go ahead, what you did in conclusion? Balanced conclusion. You are trying to writing all the benefits and trying to make some balance in the conclusion. Okay, what else? You are giving some way forward suggestions as conclusion. Very good, very good. Don't make it extensive, that is only 2 lines, 3 lines. What else? SC, you are like future vision of agriculture sector you are connecting with. Chalega. What else? SDG, anyone connected with SDGs? Okay, here also we have given some vision for future agriculture and connect with this. One approach is learn some vision. Go to the ministry. If you are doing XYZ, you are studying, go to the ministry, and whenever you go to the ministry website, something will be floating around like PPTs. And what is major vision that will come? At least learn that. Doubling farmers' income was floating for a long time. Now it is removed. Now some other vision will come. Point you are getting, connect that with conclusion. Or you can do with some way forward suggestions, 1-2 points you can give and conclude the answer. Move ahead. Yes. Ashok Gulati, problem is he is one-sided. So you pick that statement that doesn't create a misbalance. He is like one guy who supports certain ideas, certain vision for agriculture, and there are other thinkers who totally oppose him also. So either pick a balanced person or pick such quotes that doesn't seem like a misfit. You can quote that quote. In IR we extensively use this. IR it is more relevant. There are so many quotes by foreign minister, prime minister and all. Here also you can do that. Good. You have done something? Okay, okay. You are thinking of. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So if organic is coming, you should go and prepare this. Zero budget natural farming. After this, the integrated farming system. This question came in this year, 2022. So if organic is coming, then there is possibility for something like this, sustainable farming. Go and learn. It is all similar ideas, but still go and learn the definition, and something like this may be repeated. Go ahead. Second question. How does biodiversity vary in India? Very, very straightforward. How is Biological Diversity Act helpful in conservation of flora and fauna? 15 marks. Challenges is 15 marks. You need some content to fill 3 pages. So you are addressed. Anyone doesn't drawn map of India in this question? Everyone drawn. You didn't drawn. Okay, you didn't attempt it. Everyone who attempted, draw some diagram of India. So it will take some space. Then the first part is very easy. What are different parts of it? Tell me. Introduction, you will club it with first part of the answer. Maybe what is biodiversity and what else? You have written something else? You started with defining. Variation you have shown. What else? Can give a section about Biodiversity Act, then how it helps. This can be clubbed also. If you don't have much point on Biodiversity Act, you can club this also. This part you should have written, map should be there, and 5-6 point very easily you can generate. Okay. Anyone done more? Introduction, what you have written? Defining, definition. Anyone use data? Data is also possible. Anyone used? 4%? Yes, yes. 2.4% is India's area, global area, but we have 8%, 7-8% of biodiversity. You can start that also. Okay, challenges way forward, that is not asked. Still you want to fill page, you have time, liberty, all those. Make it very short and write, if you are writing, including it. Go ahead. So either you can start with biodiversity, if no data you are able to remember, just define biodiversity. And what is biodiversity? Remember a few keywords. It is diversity of all living organisms, starting from genetic diversity to ecosystems. Take pick together. Okay. Yeah, so either you can define it, very generalistic, don't need to by heart all this. Or you can cite some data like 2.4% is our area, we still sustain 7-8% of diversity. Don't give 4%, it will look very less. It is 8%, you first told 4%. 6%, 7-8%, that is all it will chalega. but stark difference, it's something you should avoid. Or you can cite rank also in global biodiversity index. So mostly you have done with definition. Go ahead. So how to address the first part? This is also very fundamental question. I think nobody might have faced any difficulty in this. How you have thought this? What is thought process in this? Think on different region, Himalayas, what kind of biodiversity it is having, northeast what is, Kerala what is, middle areas what is, Rajasthan you have totally different biodiversity, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep you have totally different, 5, 6, 7 points, connect it with some national park there if you can remember, species there, any special species is there, this coastal, this olive ridley titles you can cite, then here what you will cite, Humangutan or something like that, you can, special species of that region you can cite, orangutan, it's something like that, not specifically I am saying there is a long list here. So something like that, relate with some national park there, some species diversity there, and you can easily generate 6, 7 and n number of points. But make sure that you fill it all in one page, maximum more than one page. Don't make it 2-page answer because you don't know the next site. Don't make it overwrite it. Okay, we are nothing much to discuss here. Go ahead. So next part, Biodiversity Act. How to do this? ठीक है, वही करता है if you exactly don't remember. Thing is, if Biodiversity Act is asked, you should go and prepare the other acts. What are other acts? Environment Protection Act 1986, Wildlife Protection Act 72. Don't study too much, at least study just 5 basic points of that act. So if suppose a question this is coming, then next year if something is coming, you should have some solid content. Okay. So here we will discuss something about the act. What is the context of this act? Why it was launched? It was launched in 2002. It is written 2022. It is launched in 2002. What is the context of it? Yes, CBD. Convention on Biodiversity, India signed in which year? Earth Summit. It was signed part of Earth Summit. When Earth Summit happened? 1992. So 1992 India signed the Earth Summit as a part of Earth Summit and all. India signed CBD. Now CBD, what CBD is saying? 2 aspects to it. One is conservation of biodiversity. Second part is equitable sharing, profit sharing. Whatever profits are generated out of biodiversity and all this, it should be balanced and equitably, fairly shared with this. So these 2 are part of dimensions of CBD, and to implement this principle in the domestic legislation, we brought what act? BDA, Biodiversity Act, in after 10 years. It was a long delay, but still we brought something. So this much you can think, then you can go in these directions and develop some points. At least this NBA, National Authority, you will be remembering. Management Committee, if you can remember, very good. After that, if something National Board is there, then something State Board will also be there. So connect with that, some points you will get. What else? Then all these general points. In 2000s, we have seen how India's energy policy is changing. Pollution and all these factors are becoming a major issue. So anyway, we need more legislative power to it. Go ahead. All here it is 2002, not 22. So what is these objectives of it? Conserve biodiversity. There are 2 major parts of it. Conserve biodiversity and profit sharing, equitable profit sharing. control use of natural resources, all this will come here in part of conservation of biodiversity itself. Go ahead. Okay. So what else? We are seeing different provisions, conservation provisions. What are conservation provisions? Central government, role of central government is defined. Role of state government is defined. These are also very, very fundamental. What is role of central government? What will be role of central government? Making national legislations, making national policies, national strategies of bioconservation, all these. If any long infrastructure project, NIP, something like that is coming, there should be it's within the part of the project, there should be a part how it impacts the biodiversity. All this should also be done. So these are basic responsibility of central government. State government, the one specific point is biodiversity heritage sites. State government has the power to declare these sites and enhance the conservation and all these aspects. State level plans, state level strategies, policies, all these. Notify species which are on the verge of extinction and threatening. That is quite important. Go ahead. This is also very, very specific question. Factual like. So after that you can connect with some authorities. If you can at least remember 2 authorities, National Biodiversity Authority you should be remembering because it often come in news. Then what will be their functions, you connect with it. What will be their functions? How will you ensure profit sharing? Profit sharing we are saying, how will you ensure this? Don't read whatever it is there. Think, how will you ensure profit sharing is happening, some level of. How? Local people, I agree. If some XYZ traditional knowledge is there or biodiversity resource is there, extraction of it should benefit them also. That I agree. How will you implement it? One is provide them freedom to their resource, they have to market it, implement it, whatever way they want to. Second is major part is you want to prevent others from exploiting it. If companies is coming, they are making patent claim on biodiversity processes. They are conducting some research on traditional knowledge is there, traditional resources like what? Haldi, use of neem. So these are traditional knowledge based things. There are certain benefits of it. So if a company cannot be given patent for these kind of knowledge, so something related to patent should be there. After that, even after patent is blocked, there will be commercial exploitation cannot be stopped. It's not like this is traditional knowledge, you should not use this. You cannot do that. So even if a commercialization is going on, there should be some channels so that benefit should reach them also. Okay, IPR is major component. Patent, how you handle it. There should not be patent for so much aspects, and even if there is patent for limited aspect, specific criteria should be there. And foreign companies are also apply for patents, how to handle this. So this is how you implement what? Profit sharing, equitable profit sharing. So think on that lines, connect with 1-2 points, then connect with institutional structure is NBA and state level authorities, management committee is also part of it. After that there is imprisonment and penalties provision also. So this is like basic structure of the act. From here you derive the points on how it will protect the biodiversity. Okay, even this question is like so many yesterday question also. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, exact provisions of the act, still you should write it, you should attempt it. Don't withhold yourself from writing it. Think on whatever you know, whatever small knowledge you know, and build on it. Okay. Good thing is you have one part of the question very easy. If exact question is there like NCAP, what are features of NCAP? 15 marks. Then it becomes more tough. 3 page you have to fill and features only is asked. So here you can draw a map, take 1.5 nearly pages for the first part. Then you come to second part and you can play it and develop 5-7 points. Move ahead. So these are some issues with the act. This is also not required to part of this question. Traditional knowledge we are speaking, but what exactly constitutes traditional knowledge? What is the criteria for it? Whether X can be termed as traditional knowledge or not? All these specificities is not defined within the Act. There is some level of, what do you say, autonomy or some level of freedom to decide what it is to the government authorities and other authorities. So this lead to some kind of loophole. What else? Foreign controlled companies. There are stringent provisions, IPR provisions we are saying. So these companies are also divided into Indian companies, Indian registered companies and foreign controlled companies. Here also foreign controlled company, there is no strict definition for this. Companies Act and all, there is no such entity as foreign controlled company. Clear definition is not there also. So that will lead to controversies. But prior approval needed or not? Some certain cases prior approval should be given. Even before applying patent, you need to get prior approval of the government. But exactly where it is applicable, again there is lack of clarity of it. What else? Processes for research, biosurvey, these applications you would really need to do something with the traditional biodiversity. You are going to hamper biodiversity. So how it is that processed? There is lack of clarity on this. Now the whole act is having two components. One is conservation, one is profit sharing. But the whole mechanism is biased towards profit sharing. We are more focused on profit sharing and we are like neglecting conservation part to other departments or other part of it. So these are some issues and these are way forward you will generate easily. Solution to this, think on that lines. Better enforcement, legal reform should be there. One major thing is there is a bill introduced in 2021, Biodiversity Amendment Bill, Act Amendment Bill. So if a bill is there, there is higher chance a question might come. This is asked in earlier, but if some other bill is also regarding Environment Protection Act, if a bill is floating in the parliament or if it is referred to a committee, then do take a note of it. Go to PRS and all. They have extension, say why the bill is coming, what is the issues of existing system. All this will be government site itself, they will define it if a bill is coming. So that our work become a little easier. Okay. In conclusion, what you have written? Very generic it is. Connect it with civil organization, other part of society. Everyone should be part of conservation and preservation of traditional knowledge, biodiversity, all this. What else anyone has written SDGs or something new? Generalistic ilika. You can connect with vision. Yeah, tell me. Integral part of daily life. Very good. More generalistic than mine. You can. I'm not questioning. Connect it with SDGs if feasible. If any government vision you can connect with, then connect with that. Move ahead. So these are like, if this question is asked, you have to work out other acts. 72 Act, 86 Act. Now there is bill regarding this is floating in 2022 in the parliament. So go and prepare why the bill is coming, what are the issues it trying to amend, what are the controversies with the bill. But limitly don't study too much of the provisions of the bill. That is, bill asking very possibility is very less. Even though draft TIA was asked, but that was very big controversial issue. This is not that much. So bill may not be asked. What you have to prepare is issues of the present system. That you have to prepare, and provisions of the bill you can prepare as way forward or suggestions, recommendations, all this. So prepare 2-3 major acts, rest will suffice. Go ahead. So we are stepping into disaster management. How you prepare disaster management? Which website? Government website, NDMA. Best thing is go to, have you referred that website? NDMA website. Go to that website. There is 4, 5, 6 disasters listed: earthquake, cyclone, landslide, Go through whatever is written. There will be data, map of India, do's, don'ts. Read all that. It's not that big, you cannot read. Do prepare first from there. Then you can value add to it whatever you want. Don't forget this. Rest, what kind of question is coming in disaster management? One thing is disasters is common disasters are asking tsunami, earthquake, not very specific, that is not related to that disaster is not coming. Coastal erosion. Yes. Disaster or bad environment. You can club it. So any major disaster whichever given in NDMA you have to prepare that. Don't lose those. Then if any big cyclone is happening, any big earthquake happened, then do special, give some attention to it. What else? There is a question, fourth question. What is fourth question? Last part of the question, what it is? National Landslide Risk Management Strategy. Why? Which year it question came? 2021. Thing is, in 2020 or something, this strategy was released. So some government initiative is going on. Government is revising something. If a new map of hazard map is launched for flood, something like that from government side is happening, then take a note of it and prepare those. Mostly here also question are very direct. Then some concepts are also being asked. Can you remember some? Disaster we study from here, like cyclone, earthquake, basic thing. Some concepts are also being asked from disaster management, like vulnerability, disaster preparedness. So go through PYQs, go through some basic list. Color code, that was very specific. Exact color code was asked. You can remember red will be risk, green will be safe. Beyond that, it's quite difficult. Your written means this year. You made it in the exam hall, or you remembered it somewhere in newspaper you have seen. Okay, it was there. Good. Exactly color code was asked. It was little challenging if you cannot remember it, or you didn't notice it. You thought it will be prelims knowledge. Leave it. Then exact things came in a paper. Then it. Go ahead. So what is this question? Let's read it. Discuss about the vulnerability of India to earthquake related hazards. That is quite easy. We have addressed it. Straightforward. Give examples including the salient features of major disasters caused by earthquake in different parts of India during last 3 years. That is challenging. How it is challenging? 3 decades. Yes. And they are specifically asked examples in last 3 decades. Then it becomes challenging. If this part is not there, write about this disaster caused disaster, the question is finishing here, then it can be very easily addressed. You can think of tsunami, you can think of landslides, you can connect with some flood, dam failure. There are different dimensions to work with. Now you want exact examples, earthquake caused this, tsunami you will cite, 2004 tsunami. Beyond that it become very challenging, and last 30 decades who will remember it? If something recently happened, then you can connect it, otherwise it's very difficult. Still you can list out the different challenges caused by earthquake and address some demand can be addressed by listing different related hazards caused by earthquake. That part you should do, even though you miss out the examples part. Whatever disaster earthquake causes, that you can generate 4-5 points very easily. Okay, and the first part is also quite very easy. India's vulnerability, you can directly get it from NDMA. Nowhere you have to rush. Drone map, how many of you drone map? Everyone drone map. You came prepared? Disaster earthquake map. What will you do if you don't prepare? How is this map? What are different zones? Zone 2 to 5. Zone 2 is least risk. Zone 5 is highest risk. So it's not feasible to show all zones you have done. Still it is quite challenging to exactly zone division. Zone 2 is here, zone 3 is here. That is become very difficult. So how you do it? At least have a zone 5 where it will come. That much sensibility you should have. Where zone 5 comes? All Himalayan borders, that will be most affected. Then some part of Gujarat, rest Andaman, if you connect with, you can include that also. Then near to 4 zone, then that Gangetic plains will come under 4 zone. Middle part will be the safest part. Somewhere like that you can make it up. Go ahead, tell me different parts of this answer. First part you will write vulnerability India. Here you can draw map, here you can cite some examples, cite some 1, 2, 3, 4.4. What else? Related disasters. Say 10 marker, right? So 5, 6 point here, 4, 5 point here. That will easily suffice, give you 10 points. Even if you miss out some examples, only 1, 2 examples you can remember, that's fine. Then way forward, if you want, you can add. After that, you can go to conclusion. Okay. Introduction, what you have done, tell me. Yes, very good. Either you can define earthquake. What is one big mistake you should avoid? You can define earthquake, that is fine. But don't go into so much geography of it. Don't make this a geography answers. Not for earthquake I am speaking, other landslide we will discuss. We will discuss other disasters also. So have a caution that don't put so much of geography gyan into it. Think from perspective of disaster, how it is impacting human beings, industry. Have that perspective in mind. So either you can simply define earthquake. If you are not remembering any exact data, define earthquake. You can define it. No standard definition, you have to by heart it. You can, some shaking is happening and this is happening due to some plate movement, you can add that, but limit it there. Beyond that, don't write. Otherwise, you can cite data also, very important, like you told nearly 68%, 58 something like that is the exact data. Nearly 60% of India is the earthquake prone areas, high risk areas. So vulnerability of India, how you address this? This is recent map. I think this is very recent, 2022 I think. Like last year I seen another map. Similar to it, the major idea what you have to take note of is Himalayan ranges, this is high risk zone. All this will be zone 5. Then we have some zone 5 here. Rest of all India you can, this will be safest part. All these lines, rest you make it up. It is not exactly important. What else? What else? How you address vulnerability? If you have some data like 10 major earthquakes happened of magnitude above 8 in last this much years, 20,000 people death happened, cite that. If you have this data, land 69, nearly 50% of the land is in high risk zone, moderate to high risk zone, cite that. What else? Then you generate points thinking on region, which region is the highest vulnerable. Highest vulnerable is entire Himalayan belt. Why? All those geography, mathematics, this plate is coming and hitting the Eurasian plate and it is still moving at what rate? 2.554, you will find different data. Anyway, the point is plate is moving ahead, so there will be displacement and earthquakes. Andaman and Nicobar is also high risk zone. There is also plate boundaries coming. Related hazards, what to think of? Tsunami, flood, landslide, avalanches, all these you can connect with earthquake. Recent risk, what is rise in risk, rise in vulnerability, recent times? Yeah, what are anthropogenic reasons? Dams are also one part of it. They are also influencing this seismic activity and all. What else? What else? Prone areas, hilly areas. Construction is not doing, population spread is increasing, population growth due to this, and construction practices are not being controlled. Risky areas में कुछ भी construct हो रहा है. Tehri, yes, yes. What are reasons? What is question? Discuss it is. Why it is vulnerable? You are addressing why part of it. Why India is vulnerable to earthquake and related hazards. You can do that. Good. Anything else? You have done something else? Go ahead. What is next part? Next is that related hazards. Whatever hazards we have written here, even if you don't know remember exact hazards, do write all these. Write something about it. You are asked to list salient features. So that is not difficult. You can write about tsunami 2 lines. You can write about avalanche, landslide, all this you can connect and write 2-3 lines. So at least this should be in your answer. Everyone done this? Tsunami example you will connect. Rest if you think you connect. Change in river course. Yes. Old one. When it happened? 19. Yeah. Brahmaputra river course change. Problem is it is beyond 3 decades. Still, go ahead. Yeah. So what are, this is one big earthquake which created so many issues. You can cite that. Gujarat earthquake of 2001. Tsunami you should cite. 2004 tsunami, that is also caused by earthquake in Indonesia. So Sumatra Islands specifically. 2.8 lakh people died. It's too huge. So these are tough points. River shifting, if you can think of, you had cited Brahmaputra. That is very nice. Otherwise you can connect with Kosi. But it's still difficult to think. At least think from river shift also happens due to this earthquake. This much chance you can remember it and put it. 2008 earthquake in Tibet, that caused shifting of river Kosi. Some bunds were there, some natural bunds were there, they were broken due to this earthquake and water flow changed and the river course changed. Landslides, Chamoli earthquake 1999, that's very specific data. You search Google, you will get it, otherwise write about landslides itself. Other related hazards like man hazards, dam failure will lead to flooding. Fukushima we discussed, Koina Dam. Fukushima is also created due to earthquake, then happened tsunami, then happened the nuclear disaster. Exactly not relevant, but you can think on that lines. If not citing Fukushima, give this also can happen. Our nuclear plants also along the coast itself. Which nuclear plant? Kudankulam, Maharashtra plants, Tarapur and all along the coast itself. Okay, at least 4-5 points should be there. Specific 1 example, 2 example if you can bring, that's be happy with that. Go ahead. So conclusion, how you have written? Earthquake, whenever any question thinking about earthquake in disaster management, think about Japan. They have every system how to manage earthquake. They have infrastructure, they have social awareness, and they have disciplined people to follow also. What? Economic incentive, they are developed, they have systems. Yes. Okay, you can cite with some citing case studies, citing one examples. We should adopt some of the approaches what Japan has done. That way you can conclude the answer. Go ahead. Last question. This is a 15 marker, right? So let's read the question. Describe various causes and effects of landslides. Very easy. It's directly asking cause effect. You will do this. Mention the important components of one specific national landslide risk management strategy. So how you have done it? Who I told yesterday, even if you don't know, I told now, even if you don't know, answer that question. So you done this? Biodiversity question. Okay. So don't leave this kind of question. What is asked? National landslide risk management strategy. What will it include? How to manage landslide. यही होगा. इसमें you include your new ideas. ड्रोन यूज करो, टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करो, मैपिंग इंप्रूव करो, प्रेडिक्शन अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम ब्रिंग करो, इंस्टीट्यूशनल मैकेनिज्म करो, कैपेसिटी डेवलप करो, अवेयरनेस, इंक्लूड कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन. सो दिस 5-6 डायमेंशंस यही होगा. इवन इफ यू डोंट नो नथिंग अबाउट इट, still do write it, generate 5-6 points and come. Okay, and it was somewhere in the current affairs, so that why it was asked. So if something like that is floating in the current affairs, if government some new guidelines for earthquake, new guidelines for something other disaster, cyclone and all, do prepare it. What is cyclone best model? Odisha. Whenever cyclone conclusion, cyclone some example, Odisha should come to your mind. Like Japan for flood we discussed one country. What was it yesterday? Netherlands. Flood you are concluding the answer, write about Netherlands model. At least one. Keep it in mind and continuously cite it. What are this? So come back. What are different parts of this answer? Causes of landslide. Very easy. Effects of landslide. After that, what this is bringing into national landslide risk management strategy. Make 5 points here, make 5 here, 5 here. Few more, 166, then 15 plus points, very easy to generate. All done this? Go ahead. What to do with this part? Your drawn map here also. Very good. This is a 15 mark. You have 3 pages, so draw map, no issues. You can either draw map. What nothing is coming. Define landslide. What is it? Mass wasting due to some XYZ, and so many land, rock, soil. All this will come down due to on gravity. So mass wasting is one keyword that you can remember it and put that in. Rest make your definition around it. What else? If you exactly know some data, 15% of Indian mass is prone to landslide. How much it was for earthquake? Nearly 60%. 59, if you can remember exact. 59, otherwise nearly 60% for earthquake. So get this data. What are risk prone areas? Hilly areas. Wherever hills are there, they are risk prone. All Himalayas, Northeast, Western Ghats. These are major issue areas. Okay, why Eastern Ghats are not risky? Yes. They are low, like what do you say? Rate of slope will be less in Eastern Ghats. Then rainfall there is comparatively very less compared to this side. At least one side of this Kerala side, that will be very much prone to landslides. heavy rainfall is there. Yeah, 1-2 reasons you can cite. Go ahead. What else you have done? Anything? Anyone done anything new for introduction? Data. 7,000 landslides happened. 1 year 7,000 landslide is happening in India. Okay, okay, okay. Good, good. Okay, you can do that also. Himalayas and Western Ghats are more prone to landslides. You are citing in introduction. Yes, yes, doable. Go ahead. What is this causes of how you divide it? All done the same activity. Side view in this. What is natural causes? I don't think so much of the explanation is required. Water saturation, heavy rainfall, snowfall, melting of snow, melting of ice, all this will contribute to water saturation in the higher regions. That will contribute to landslide. Hydrostatic pressure, what it is? How it is related to this landslide? Dams, mainly in, yes. Mainly in Uttarakhand, higher Himalayas, where there will be these hot springs, this thing is happening. Sometimes it comes with high pressure and that will create issues that can break the land and lead to landslides. Not exactly GLOF, that is also another factor. Absence of vertical vegetation, deforestation that you put there itself, erosion of top slope. These are all very generic points. Volcano, earthquake, all this can also lead to what? Landslides. Anthropogenic, what is? Deforestation, plantation farming, monoculture, monocropping, all these affects it. Unscientific infrastructure construction practices, especially in Kerala. Which committee is there? Madhav Gadgil committee was first, then came Kasturirangan committee. Why? From whose perspective? From environmentalist perspective, it was very good committee. So Madhav Gadgil committee give very strict recommendations. Then government was not happy with this. Quarrying is happening, we cannot stop all the quarrying. Then we went to Kasturirangan and they made some diluted provisions. And Kerala, when the flood happened, major flood, 2018, first one. Then it is happening every year, I guess. So when this 2018 flood happened, that was massive flood in Kerala before, after a long time. Whatever floods happen in Kerala is very localized. Beyond that, a major flood impacting almost huge area of the state. That happened in 2018. Like it was not in memory of people, some flood in this gravity happened before. So when this happened, there was some dialogue by this Madhav Gadgil when his recommendations were rejected. He told that whatever I am citing here is, I am not citing after 30 years you will suffer. I am citing within our lifetime we are going to get the impact of deforestation, every unscientific activities, construction activities that is going along the Western Ghats. We are going to get the impact of it within our lifetime itself. And within 5 years, this Kerala floods happen. Now it is happening almost every year. So what else? There is one thing interesting. Earthworks, altering slopes, all this you can connect with, very easy. Unscientific forestry, how forestry affects these landslides and how this, what do you call? This is natural slope, we make these structures. What is called? Terrace farming. How on forestry and terracing, all this impacts landslides? Think on these lines.
What happens when trees are there, the soil is kind of compact because of their roots. But
Yes, yes.
to unscientific forestry, the roots
Roots may not be weak. We will put some plants that don't have the capacity to hold that land. Invasive species, they grow like this, but they don't have the capacity to hold the land. What is issue with this? This is the hill we had. We are usually terrace farming is very good scientific approach. You should do that, but sometimes this also lead to landslide. How? What happen when rain happen? What happen when rain happen? Usually all this drain out. Very small amount of water will be going inside and saturation capacity will be balanced. But if you are doing this, all the water will be, more water will be going inside the earth. So this will impact the capacity to hold it, saturation level cross ho jayega and it lead to what? Landslides. And this also you should be cautious. This is a very positive approach. This is a promoted approach. But it has to be done scientifically. You have to check the land, what kind of soil is there, what kind of rock is there. You have to get this, how much you have to take the length, breadth, all these dimensions. But people are not aware of it. They are just for the agricultural investment perspective, they are doing this and making some plans and clothes. So this will also lead to landslide. All other points are very generic. You might have written also. Go ahead. So what is effects of landslide? How you have divided? Tell me what is your approach? Similar to it. National impact में क्या आएगा? Natural impact. Okay. Natural systems, how it is impacting. After that, second point. Impact on society, people, infrastructure, livelihood, economy, all these. Good. What else? Tell me. क्या लिखा है? No, you tell me, thought process. You divide like this, short term, long term effects. Anything else? What you have done? Economy, different sectors you are thinking and dividing it. Stakeholders. What are stakeholders here? Similar to this line, different sectors you are thinking, stakeholders. Okay, very good. So is this happening? You are artificially trying to put some structure into thinking? Is that coming naturally or still writing randomly? Not in this question I am asking. In generally, is there any improvement? At least some question you are getting some kind of structure. Maybe not applicable in all questions. If you are getting 20 questions, not possible 20 questions, you will generate points by thinking something. That may not be feasible, but at least 10 plus question you can do that. That's still good. Go ahead. This I don't think too much of discussion, also very generic points. Short term related hazards, it will also lead to tsunami if it is underwater, landslide. It can also lead to flooding. It can also dam failure. All this it can be related to it. Short term impact, loss of lives, road, railways, all this will be blocked. Diversion of rivers, loss of biodiversity indeed. Long term you will write all these economic impacts, displacement, disaster migration, all these points. This also 5-6 point generation is quite very easy. Direct question. Go ahead. What else we have? This strategy, this is very interesting. National landslide risk management strategy. So what we have told, if you don't know what to write, mapping, all these dimensions we discussed now, exactly same dimension is put in the committee report or this strategy recommendations also. What it is? Landslide hazard zonation. We already have a map. Take pick if you want. Okay. So we already have a zonation map, but give it more dimensions to it. Use what is UAVs? Unmanned drone, something bigger drones. So laser scanning, satellite imaging, all this you do that, and better maps you create, localized map like for a village level. To that extent you create something like that. Better hazard zonation, landslide monitoring and early warning system. How it does? Automatic real-time sensors, at least in the high risk zone, attach some sensors so something can be done. After that, awareness program. People should be aware, otherwise whom you want? People should be given awareness, training, all these. Capacity building, government officials should be trained, technology should be integrated into it. Preparation of mountain regulation zone, these are like long-term suggestions. You should have some mitigation of landslides plans, you should have some construction regulation, you should have some regulation of all these activities like quarrying, all these economic activities that is going on this risky zone, you should have some policies for that. Okay, this part how to address, if you know specific, you are going and studying, then you will easily do. Otherwise also address this part of the question, never leave. Write the basic sense what you are thinking, connect it with recent happenings, new technologies, then write a decently address the demand. Okay, go ahead. So conclusion, this is another way of conclusion. If something is in the news, if some new Sendai framework is very old, you can connect with this anytime. Like SDGs in environment question, you can connect with Sendai framework in disaster question anytime. If something new is coming into in the newspaper, you can connect with or remember, then cite that also. Kyoto landslide commitment. No need to exactly know study all these commitments. If it is very relevant, then study. Otherwise, just the name, use it in the conclusion, use it in the way forward. Like that, you can explore it. Okay, go ahead. So that's all for today. So next class we will have on Monday. Monday we will do the same 4 questions. So come prepare these topics and game. One question I left that you have to, even if you don't know, you have to write something like that, you write. Otherwise come these 3 prepared. Okay, that will be last class for this disaster management. Hardly 1 or 2 questions are coming from per year from this section. So no need to devote too much classes into it. So that's all. Hope everything is okay. You can show the answer. Thank you so much.